Hi there, this is Lauren, your friendly neighborhood production coordinator. I'm just stopping by to show you some examples of high-impact units. Cover tips, or false covers, are highly sought after on our publications because it's the first thing the reader sees. These are printed on heavier paper than the real front cover of the magazine. You can have artwork on both sides, and the piece is attached by a thin line of easy-release glue. Keep in mind that the address labels will have to go on the front of the magazine, so you will need to allow for this box when designing your full-page cover tip. Similarly, you can also have a half-page front cover tip. Again, it is attached with a thin line of easy-release glue, and you can have artwork on both sides if you wish. Postal regulations require that magazines with half-page cover tips be polybagged, unless they're not full run, but only going on copies that we send to trade shows. Ask your production coordinator for specs for these units. Another special project you might be interested in is a belly band. It's about the size of a half-page ad and wraps around the outside middle, or belly, of the magazine. On the back, there's usually about 1 inch of overlap, and underneath, the flaps are glued together. The benefit of this is that the reader can't even open the magazine without looking at and removing your piece. Usually, belly bands are spot glued to the magazine to keep them from sliding up and down and obscuring the title of the magazine or the mailing label. One of my favorite high-impact units is a French door or barn door cover. Check it out. 2 flaps on the front cover open to reveal about 2 pages worth of advertising. You could even go a little bit bigger and have a half flap plus a full flap, opening to reveal about 2.5 pages of advertising. If you're looking to do something inside of the magazine, perhaps surrounding a cover story, you might be interested in a similar idea where your ad runs on flaps or doors, basically a spread, that open to reveal editorial content. A unit such as that is run on an 8-page form, and you could potentially have 8 pages worth of advertising. Lots of options here. Clients often ask for information on gatefolds too. I'll show you a few examples. This gatefold here is printed on a 4-page form and bound into the magazine. This advertiser chose to run 3 full pages worth of advertising, and the 4th page is one of our editorial pages. You can do gatefolds inside the magazine like this, or have them be a part of the inside front cover, or inside back cover. In which case it is part of a 6-page form. You can also do 8-page gatefolds like this one here. Aside from gatefolds, you can also insert other units of various dimensions and folio sizes. Inserts can either be bound into the magazine, like normal magazine pages. They can be glue-tipped, or they are glued directly onto the page with a thin strip of easy-release glue. Or they can be magnestripped, where a heavier strip of cardstock is bound in and your insert is glued onto that cardstock, also called a magnestrip. With the glue tip and magnestrip options, readers are able to pull your insert out of the magazine where they would not be able to if it were bound in. There are some limits when it comes to these options. Depending on how many pages your insert is and what the paperweight is, it might be too heavy and would cause bindery issues. In general, tip-in inserts should be reserved for small folio, light stock inserts only. Anything over 8 pages would probably have to go on a magnestrip, and if we did tip an 8-page insert, it would need to be lightweight, for example on 40-pound paper. The benefit of binding your insert into the magazine would be that we can accommodate larger insert folios and print on a better range of stocks. Magnestripping should be reserved for any insert over 8 pages, smaller inserts that are printed on heavyweight cover stocks, and any insert that cannot otherwise bind or tip in. Business reply cards can be designed as postage paid, where you pay postage only for the cards that are returned to you, or where readers affix their own postage. Coding allows you to track the reply mail which you receive. All business reply cards must bind into the magazine, and you can have a perforated strip for removal. You might have an outsert or loose enclosure that needs to be polybagged with our magazine. Polybagging can be done for almost any size outsert, provided it meets postal requirements for periodicals, ride-along, or standard class mailing. You can even print an advertisement on the outside of the polybag, as seen here. But this does require additional lead time, so be sure to discuss scheduling and design guidelines with your production coordinator. Catalogs, CD-ROMs, and product samples are examples of items that can be bound or inserted into a polybag and mailed cost-effectively at ride-along postage rates. There are specific weight and thickness limits, so be sure to discuss details with your production coordinator. If you have more than one ride-along, you will have to pay standard mail rates. Some of you may already be running print advertising within the magazine, whether it be full-page ads or smaller. Keep in mind that special projects, such as these, require extra lead time to produce and need to be completed prior to the issue it glues or binds into. You can certainly print and supply these pieces yourself, or we can have them printed for you. You can ask your production coordinator for artwork deadlines and mechanical specs. If you have any other ideas not mentioned here, don't hesitate to ask your sales rep and production coordinator, and we can discuss the possibilities.